All right, hello. I wanted to. I'm gonna read my review for The Last of Us 2. I wanted to put up a cool GMV behind me in the background, and I was looking at a few, but they all have major spoilers in them, and I was like, damn, they're really good ones too. They're really good GMVs out there, and I was like, crap. So after 20 minutes of trying to find a good one, I was like, I'm just gonna put the freaking regular trailer on and read my review because I don't want to put spoilers on. I wanted to show them because they had some really cool stuff, but too many spoilers, and just in case people are like me and don't want to get like spoilers you wouldn't, whatever. I don't want to have accidental spoilers come in and stuff. So, oh, oops, that's the wrong one sec. I gotta get my review. Okay, here we go. This is my review that I wrote for The Last of Us 2. Once I'm done reading it, I will explain why I wrote it the way I did. The Last of Us 2 has an excellent story and fun gameplay. Overall, I felt it was done better than the first game. The pacing is still incredibly slow, and there are literally several hours of just straight boredom. I even got bored at one point killing enemies. It was very awkward to feel bored of the game when I actually loved it, and it was just so dragged out. Yeah, much like part 1. I think if the game's duration was cut in half and some of the ending flashbacks, just flashbacks in general, were moved to much earlier periods or different parts in the game, it would have been a lot more perfected. It really made no sense how the game ended out, and it left no impact on me. The impact that was there was worn off by the terribly timed memories that just did not fit at all. In the end, I expected and wanted to cry. Instead, I was bored. I don't actually want the game to be shorter, but I don't want to be bored to death either. The brutality in the story was extremely intense, but it didn't have the impact on me that it should have. It doesn't mean the story is bad. It feels like some very bad decisions were made. The story itself is incredible. I loved Ellie's relationship with Dina. To me, she was the perfect balance to Ellie's personality. It was awkward at first. The relationship was awkward at first because there wasn't really a natural introduction to it. It happened a bit fast, but by the time the story was complete, I really loved them together. Unfortunately, most of Ellie's playthrough was boring, and I felt like I never had a choice in who I was killing and was just forced into a murder spree of revenge. It was kind of ridiculous and made me mad. Abby was my hero by the end. I wanted her to win. So, you play these two characters, Abby and Ellie, which I thought was really well done. I believe it's 3 days each, if I remember correctly. Both of their playthroughs happen in the same timeline, but they are completely separate experiences and stories that intermingle without being the same, which was really cool and interesting. When Abby was first introduced, I couldn't stand her. She just came off like a super bitch. It took a while for her character to develop. Once her story really got going, I found every single bit of it far more interesting than Ellie's. As Abby, I met different people almost everywhere I went that I actually talked to and got to know. Ellie just went around killing everyone. With Abby, I got to see a pretty big change in her attitude and personality. I grew with her, and she grew on me. I loved how buff and militaristic Abby was, as Dina was the perfect emotional opposite to Ellie, and Abby was the perfect physical opposite. The gameplay itself was epic and smooth. It felt great. The melee combat is an enormous step up, and surprised at how much fun it is. The gunplay also felt really good. There's some absolutely mind-blowing action sequences involving chases, and while the boss fights were short, they were excellent and jaw-dropping. The environments are absolutely incredible. The atmosphere drew me in everywhere I went. The amount of detail in the world and animations is insanely impressive, although some of the in-game facial expressions are hilariously bad sometimes. It's pretty funny. Sound effects and music are perfection. The wind, the rain, the creaks of wood, gunfire, weapons and fist impacts on skin, all of it perfection. As usual, I wish there weren't times when there was no music. It drives me nuts. My initial score at the end of the game was pushing a 9 out of 10, but I can't help but think back to the many hours that I was bored out of my mind, so much so that I literally took a full week's break from the game when I was nearing the end. And that was my main review that I wrote. I did write a little bit further after that, talking about specifically about what happened in the end and what I didn't like about it and what I would change about it. But the reason I wrote it the way I did, it's kind of awkward. I feel like it's weird, but I mostly wanted to focus on the stuff that stood out to me. And the reason specifically with this game was because the internet is just loaded with 10s and 9s just everywhere. So there's a lot to say about the game. I had so much stuff I wanted to say about the game, but knowing that there's so much out there, 9s and 10s just everywhere, you will see everything that I could possibly say and more a million times over. So that was specifically why with this review, this game being such a big game, I kind of focused more on my focus, something that stood out to me the most, and that was the stuff I mentioned. I did some of the stuff I kind of needed to rewrite. There were a couple of spots I was like, you know what, I should rearrange a couple words on there. But yeah, it was really weird, the Ellie and Dina relationship, and some of it I just kept short and brief because I just wanted to say how I felt. I didn't want to get super into details because there's so much. There really is. There's a lot. But I do remember one thing that a lot of reviews, including ones that gave it high scores like 9s and such, but a lot of reviews had mentioned it being disjointed, the story. And I was like, yeah, because the way they do the memories and everything, the story is just so all over the place. Like, the stuff that was emotional, but it could have had a bigger impact. Like I was saying, like, the ending had zero impact on me because they just screwed it up so badly. It was just terrible. It was like, the story was really good, but the way they moved scenes around and had you watch these parts at all the wrong times, like almost every I can't even remember a single memory that felt like it was in a spot that made sense for me anyways. Like, some other people might have enjoyed the way the memories were put in and where they were in the game and stuff. Playing the game was great, like playing those memories was great, the story was really good, but it was really sloppy. It was really sloppy. I still, even so, I still gave the game an 8. At the end, like it's that when you're done with the game, you just finish it and it was so good and you're like, whoa, like I would give it this score, but I thought about it and I was like, nah, man, because there were many hours playing through that where I took a break for a week. I was halfway through Abby's story. She's the second half of the game. You play her side of the story. It's really cool. I loved her character so much. I hated her in Ellie's story because you don't really get to know her very well, but when you play as Abby, you get to know her whole story, and it's freaking good. It's really good. But like, I was just sick of the bad pacing. The pacing in the game is just terrible. It's so slow. It's really dragged out. But as far, like, there's so much amazing stuff going on. I mentioned the chase scenes. There's like, I think there's 3 or 4 chase scenes, different vehicle types, and I could go into more of that. I'm not going to, because just saying there's some chase scenes, like the chase scenes are incredible. The boss fights are really cool. They're super short, but they're amazing. It was really good. So, like, that's what I said. The written review that I made was really brief. I wanted to write so much more. I could have written, oh my gosh, I could have done pages of a review on this game, but I was just like, you know what, I also prefer to do like a more personal thing, like what did I like about it? This is what I want to focus on. Usually, there are times where, specifically like this game, if I did not like this game, I would have trashed it. But I usually prefer to focus on what I like, so I don't usually do reviews for games that I didn't enjoy. Sometimes I do share my opinions and stuff when it is something I don't enjoy. But I like, dude, it's kind of like Red Dead Redemption 2 and tons of games out there that millions of people love, and I'm over here like, no, thank you, get that out of here, So yeah, that's another reason. But it was just weird. I don't know. I don't know why. I thought I had this on loop. Yeah, whatever. Oh, oops, damn it, lame. Anyways, I want to go now, but I just wanted to finalize, and I kind of wanted to go into the ending thing, but whatever. I guess I will. So I'm gonna talk about the ending real quick here, end the video now if you want. Thanks for watching, checking it out. Let me know what you think. So as far as the ending goes, I would have preferred. I really would have preferred. Number one, I would have wanted Abby to win and kill Ellie. Just straight up kill Ellie. Ellie was a murderer. She was a psychopath in this game. I did not like her at all. I still liked her, who she was, who she used to be. But by the end of this game, I didn't care about her. And mostly, like, I liked her relationship with Dina. A lot of the stuff they did, the reason I just stopped caring about Ellie is because it was just the way they did it. The way they moved scenes around and put them in all the wrong spots. And she's just a killer. Through her whole play, she's just a murderer. That's all she is. She's all she does. She just goes through and just murders everybody. It's either that or you play stealthy and hide from everybody and go through it. But it was dumb. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way they did it. I wanted Abby to kill her in the end, or they kill each other. Because Abby was also pretty horrible, but she I felt like she was kind of redeemed-ish once we get to know her story and all that. Like, she was a good person, you know, like much like Ellie. But I would have either wanted Abby to kill Ellie or them both kill each other and neither of them survive. Like that would have been an ending. I would have been all like, yes, but that doesn't happen. So that was disappointing. I did say some more thoughts, but I didn't really want to get super into anything. I talked briefly about it in my review, a couple paragraphs, but like nothing major. Whatever. Anyways, it's an interesting. I just really wish they would have cut scenes and put them together better. And as far as pacing of the game too, there's so much. It reminded me a little bit of Warhammer Space Marine, yeah, because I love that game. But there's like so many like big giant rooms that you just walk through and do nothing. You just walk through them. It's like 5-10 minutes of just walking, and that's it. And there's nothing else to it. So, anyways, that's my review. Last of Us 2. Thanks for watching and listening. Take care.